It's that with Willoway Nurseries in Avon, Ohio. Here in the field today, a little different backdrop than I've been doing the videos in. We're out here to talk a little bit about some of the things going on. Fall's a great time. We're getting into digging season for our field stuff again. And so we've got some bicolor oak here. They're looking really good. Got some red oak behind us. Our stock's clean. These are nice 2-inch trees here graded out. So you can see they've got a good straight leader, good form, trimmed, good branching structure, all things that you're really looking for some of those last minute landscape projects that have come up. Restocking your yard in the fall here. We're getting, as I said, getting into fall. We're at degree days 28, 26. There isn't a lot of pests that are really going at this point. We're doing some oils on scale and a few things like that. But we're seeing some leaf issues that come up. And one of the things that I've seen is there's some oak galls that are out there. Some are leaf issue ones, and you'll find on the underside like a fuzzy oak gall is one, and on the top it looks like it's puckered. Those are basically most of them are a snippet fly or wasp. Also, you can have a midge, which is a small fly that can produce, they lay the eggs in the tissue as the bud's opening or as the leaf's expanding, and it causes the tissue to grow around that egg to protect it. Those are mostly aesthetic issues. If you see galls that are in the stems or on the stems, there's like gouty is pretty common. That one will swell the stem up, and that's a bad one. Really, actually will kill the branch off. That one is one that we look for and scout for. Not found it on the farms here at all. There's also bullet gall, which is a round kind of marble-sized gall. That one we've had commonly found in bur oak, and it's kind of interesting because it's almost like it's genetic a little bit. Some of trees are more genetically dispositioned to get it heavier than others. So you'll find like in a field production setting, maybe one tree has it really heavy and the tree on either side may have none. We do treatment here for it, and we really have been scouting and pretty much have gotten it out of the fields. We have it occasionally here and there, and like I said, I think most of that comes to genetics more than anything on those trees. Without treatment, they're going to continually get it. So a little bit about fall color too. We've had some nights here that have gotten down to 40. So really things are really in a shutdown mode right now, which is good. We want everything to harden off for fall. We want to see that leaf color start to come in here. Even if we get warmer weather here again and it peaks back up into the 60s, 70s, that's fine. We just really want everything, kind of the buds to shut down, the plant to kind of start going dormant before it gets really cold. So these cool nights are really good for that. Anything else, I guess, on some of this? You'll see plants in different stages at this point of going to sleep. So we were driving by the field here and we're looking at honey locust is already well in fall color and starting to really start to show up that it's coming up. Where you have these oaks that haven't really shown anything much yet. Some of the interior leaves are a little bit yellow, you'll see, but that's about it. So thanks. Hopefully this was helpful. That's that at Willoway again. Just want to talk a little bit. We came by, look at these Alice Hydrangea quercifolia. Just want to talk a little bit about crop. Looks great, but you'll have some leaf issues this time of year. So sometimes some of the older leaves, you'll see a little bit of leaf spot started developing. You'll see these red leaves, the blemishes. That has to do with a little bit of water. It's like Septoria leaf spot, probably. I'd have to send it off to get exactly, but Septoria usually is found in red. The new growth is really clean on these. These are looking really good. Couple things with oak leaves though. This is a plant that has a fuzzy bud, and a general rule of thumb is when you have a fuzzy bud on a plant, they're generally require less water than more. So oak leaves generally want to be on a little bit on the drier side. I've seen people have some problems with this where they get it someplace where it's really wet or you have really heavy soils, and you can have issues where the decline and you have to do a lot of treatment with fungicides, drenches to keep the roots healthy. So that's just kind of a little bit of a tidbit. We do a lot of trimming in these to keep them branched really low and looking good. So you can see there's been a lot of cuts in this. We've got about 3 or 4 cuts to get this nice and full looking. So we've got good supplies. They're looking really good. We're going to be putting them to bed here. When we put stuff to bed like oak leaves, we want to kind of get the foliage to harden off and kind of stop growing. And then what we'll do is we'll push them can to can in the center of the house. We do put plastic inside the house after we cover this, or before we cover, and then we cover it. The plastic will go on oak leaves. We pull the plastic over if it's going to be below 15 degrees. That's just for us to have a little extra protection and keep that ground heat down near the plants. We'll pull that plastic back off when we get above 15 degrees again. So sometimes it's only like once or twice in a winter that we might actually have to do that. But we do not want to keep plastic on these all the time. This fuzzy stem and bud, like I said, they don't like the moisture on it. You could have some problems with storage with like botrytis and some storage molds that would get in and rot the stems off. So just something to keep note of for this winter storage.